Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L, and now let's talk Kakegurui, otherwise known as Compulsive Gambler. This show was recommended to me by a friend, and my god, man, wow. I really think this might be one of the better premieres for the summer 2017 season of anime. Legitimately. Even better than Fate Apocrypha in all fairness. In terms of introducing and selling a premise, this show, wow, awesome. It worked out. Now before we actually get into talking a little bit about the episode, let's just very quickly acknowledge some of the main visual elements of this particular anime. Those being lips, eyes, creepy facial expressions, and butts. Those visual elements, all that they can really tell you, style, man. It all adds up to style. This is a really stylish anime, and because of that, it looks really good, and it ends up being really intense when it comes down to it, because when you have really detailed, beautiful art, and you get close-ups of that art, and you get those really awkward or really creepy facial expressions, it's like, yeah, that's just pure on style. Like, my god, props to this show for the facial expressions. Wow, like really, man, the amount of faces in this episode were just incredible. Anyway, you know, this show is super stylish. It's a show about gambling, a school of gamblers. Just, you know, whenever class is up, it turns into a gambling den. People are just throwing away money. People are being turned into house pets. It's just overall, you know, it sells you on the aesthetic pretty quickly. It sells you on what these kids are doing. It's like, just once you get into it, it's like, wow, okay, we're into this already. So this first episode kind of just sets up the main players of this series, sets up who we could assume is the main antagonist or rival, sets up who we can assume is the main point of view character. In other words, this is the character that's going to be sitting there, and he's going to be effectively a normal person as he's watching the insanity just go out of control. And then we have the compulsive gambler, the show's namesake, and she is interesting for very different reasons than every other gambler in this show. This episode is largely kind of just introducing us to her style, how she plays the game, because for every other character, they're kind of playing things straight. The blonde girl, Mary, she's just whatever. She's just a regular gambler. She just plays the game, forces people out. She kind of rigs the game towards her favor. She gives herself the odds. We see that through the episode. And then we have Jabami, and she is the one that amongst gambling freaks, she is the worst. She is the weirdest, and you know, it really works. Like, this girl is stylish. Even with the ending, like, they're really selling this girl for her style and just how she plays in this world. And ultimately, with this character, we just see a person who isn't so much greedy, and this is something that's kind of alluded to in the opening. This is just a girl who's chasing after the thrill. Like, this girl just loves the thrill of being on the edge. She's a risk taker. She gets her adrenaline rush from throwing 10 millions of yen all over the place, and it's just like, wow, okay, I get it. I understand this character's concept. The way she just gets all hot and bothered because of the idea of taking a risk is just, okay, I understand. So the episode is really just her giant introduction. We go through the beginning. You know, it looks pretty bad for her when she's playing the game of rock, paper, scissors. Then we have that turning point, the moment we see her face just turn and she dumps out all the money. After that, we get her total triumph, and then going into her explanation of how she figured things out, proving that she is a smart character and that she likes beating the game. She likes beating the odds. So overall, a very strong showing for this character. And, you know, again, like I said in the beginning, in terms of a premise, you know, this episode sells it really well. Because it's such a simple premise, a premise of characters going and just gambling against each other, because we have a simple concept or a really fleshed out concept with Jabami finding out that she is just a gambler who's after the thrill, that she doesn't necessarily want money, and we have that proof when she says that she will just go away because she already got a pretty nice experience. She doesn't need the money. You know, it sells us on this character, and it just explains to us what we're going to probably be getting for the rest of the season. Is just going to be this girl overcoming the obstacles as she just seeks the ultimate thrill. So, Kakegurui, you know, pretty awesome show. I'm going to be watching it for the rest of the season. I think it's going to be a pretty fun one, just in thrills, because the show, it does a pretty good thing at setting up the atmosphere. It does a pretty good thing at setting up the tension. It does a pretty good thing at wanting you to see how Jabami's gonna get through this while she also freaks everyone else out with her weird facial expressions. You know, ultimately, in terms of entertainment value, this show is packing it in spades. It's beautiful, the art is on point, the faces are on point. When you have those aspects in it as well, having all those close-up shots that really take up a lot of time just adds to the experience instead of making you wish like, oh my god, I wish we didn't have so many close-up shots. So in terms of production value, it's acing it. In terms of story not really that important because it's being really character driven. It's really, at the end of the day, two characters facing off. But in terms of selling the premise of this school that's gambling and there's a compulsive gambler in there, it works out. Characters on point, pretty awesome. It's going to be pretty awesome to see this show for the rest of the season. I really hope it keeps up this kind of strength. And one last little tidbit. We know that Jabami is a big deal. She is a snake in the garden, as the girls that we saw in the intermission of the episode said. So overall, I think it's safe to get excited about this show. It's going to be pretty fun. Anyway, guys, let me know what you thought of the show down below. Let me know if you are a manga reader, because I know this is a manga adaptation. So feel free to let me know that this is going to get more exciting. And yeah. Stay tuned for a opening breakdown. I'm going to be making one of those relatively soon. But yeah, till next time. I hope you guys have a great day.